What's going on, everybody? So now that the football season is here, I can officially say that we will now have Browns After Dark Sunday night, Monday night, and if that is not enough for you, we got another one on Thursday. So if you've ever said to yourself, hey, I wonder where I can meet with people and talk about the Browns, that is the place for you. Check us out at Browns After Dark on Twitter. The link will be in the description down below. Times will also be posted on that Twitter page, so be sure to give us a follow, turn on your notifications, and come let us know what you think. We want to know your thoughts, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the BAD podcast. We're here to talk about a Browns win today. It's about time. I'm sick of this shit. We're starting things off hot. So as you can see, Cozy's here. Wes is here. Wes, nice to know you're alive. Good to have you back on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Tony's not here right now. We don't know what's going on at Tony. He might be at his usual meetings in the woods. JC, I don't know what's going on with him. Everybody tweet at JClee on Twitter. Tell his ass to get here. He's the worst coworker I've ever had in my life. I don't know what's going on with him. I haven't heard from him. But nevertheless, us three are here. We're here to talk about the Browns. Let's start it off. Monday Night Football. I don't think we really did a prediction, Wes. I know you weren't here, but I was expecting to be slaughtered. I expected the Bengals to throw all over us. I didn't think it was going to be close, and the Browns finally showed up, grew a pair of balls. Like that's what happened. Cozy, you were at the game. I'll let you go first, and then Wes. What's your initial reaction? 32-13, the Browns destroy the Bengals on Monday Night Football.
Well, it was kind of funny because I believe I was in a Bengals space, something called like Bengals Daily. It's hosted by this guy named Game On. Hopefully you're listening, Game On. I was laughed at when I guaranteed victory about 6 days before the game kicked off. And everyone kind of laughed at me, and they were like, all these Bengals fans were like, you don't, there's no way you guys are winning this game. And there was a few people who said that to me in that space, and I have yet to see them back in a space. So running with their head between their legs, basically, they have not been in that space. And I'm waiting to talk to a few of them. Initial reaction, what a domination of a game. I mean, just absolute domination from pretty much the first drive. I mean, the Bengals had a decent drive going in the opening, and then we got an interception. And it was like, you could just kind of see it there. It was like, okay, this is Browns Bengals again. This is just like last year, 41-16, just total domination, beatdown. But the thing is, we didn't go down and score right away. We kind of struggled out of the gates on offense. It kind of took a while for us to get things going. I mean, our first touchdown drive was what? 17, 18 plays, something like that, 16, something like that. And it took us a while to get going. So, I mean, it wasn't the beatdown early. But, I mean, once the third quarter hit, I mean, we went from 11-0 to a touchdown, a 3-and-out for the Bengals, another touchdown by us, and the next thing you know, it was 25-0. And it was like, okay, well, this is going to be another game where it's going to be cruise in the fourth quarter kind of thing. The one thing that I did notice is, and I will say this was pretty evident during the game, is the Bengals don't know how to guard Myles Garrett. They don't know how to stop him. They don't know how to protect against him. We heard all offseason about how the Bengals improved their offensive line, improved this and that, and it looked like they didn't do anything different, to be very honest with you. I mean, it literally looked that bad. I mean, when you're up 25-0, and the funny thing is, I'm not even going to lie, it was absolutely hilarious. They missed the extra point when they went and scored a touchdown, because it was just like we had to hear for all the time about how great Evan McPherson is and how Cade York sucks. And you drafted a kicker in the fourth round to be like Evan McPherson, and he isn't even close. Well, guess what? Cade York, end of the first half, 55-yarder, right down the middle, beautiful kick, great hold. I know we had the field goal early that was blocked, and they kind of discussed that. That was probably maybe the only bad play that I can really think. I mean, other than the turnovers, that was the really only bad play of the night. Like, there was nothing that's glaring to me that was like, okay, we have to improve on this. We almost played a perfully flawless game.
Other than the Amari Cooper throw.
Oh,
yeah,
well, I said terrible. Turnovers. I said turnovers. When we did a double reverse or reverse pass with Amari Cooper, I was like, what are you doing? Like,
bro,
he's
not
trying to bring back
Landry.
that OBJ play.
Yeah, bro, he ain't juice.
But here's the thing. You were moving the ball at that point.
I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the play call because you know damn well if that play works, it's like, oh my God, Fancy's genius.
But I will say this. We ran 67 plays of offense. We ran.
Yeah, it wasn't TOP. We had like 34, 35, 36.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Let me look it up here real quick.
Hey, Cozy, to your point, though, about
36-45 in time of possession.
36. Hey, to your point real quick about Myles Garrett, it wasn't just Myles Garrett, though.
Oh, I know.
The Browns were getting pressure all night. Taven Bryant got pressure.
Oh, I know.
Shout out to that boy, Isaiah Thomas. For a 7th-round rookie, people were talking shit, oh, is he going to make the team? Is he not? That man is built different. Like, he straight up bull rushed.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, the last couple of weeks, I've been seeing shit on Twitter talking about, like, oh, like, people trying to diss Andrew Berry, and it's like they just conveniently omit. They were talking about people have been hating on Jed Wills, where it's like, yeah, I think he's good. He does do some shit where it's like, but
I mean, let's be honest. Jedrick Wills is a full-on. Like, the man literally stands around and gives half an effort.
Yeah, but
like, he's great.
Like,
here's the thing about Jed Wills, though. Like, when it's set up perfect for him, he's fantastic. Like, when he's going all in, he's great.
I don't like this dude. It was before I got banned. I think he was like not the reason, but like my like ban on Twitter was because it started with me talking shit to that Corey dude on Twitter. You remember, Cozy?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So he tweeted something today. He was like, oh, it's too bad that 71 guy doesn't give any effort and gives up halfway through the play, whatever. And I think it was the second Nick Chubb touchdown run. And, like, dude, he was basically already in the end zone, and Will's just fucking pancakes, dude, in the end zone. But anyway, people have been talking shit about Barry. I think about kind of the Wills pick.
Delpit for sure. Greedy.
Yeah, Delpit. Greedy wasn't a Barry pick.
No, he wasn't a Barry.
Oh, that's right. He was Dorsey. Yeah.
But they're
Jacob Phillips.
Was Peoples-Jones?
Phillips.
Barry?
Yes, Peoples-Jones was Barry. Yep.
Dude, he's on pace for 1,000 yards. He was a 6th-round pick. If IT becomes anything, 7th-round pick. I mean, Felton, he's kind of
Harrison Bryant gets a lot of shit.
I mean, dude, he's buns, but whatever. Emerson, I liked it when it came out. I was like surprised, but I was like, you know what? I looked at him, watched some highlights and stuff like that. I mean, not too much. I didn't like go and watch all 22 of them, but I was like, you know, it might be all right. And he's been.
Did anyone watch Harrison Bryant on Monday night?
Yeah,
not really.
Awesome.
I was surprised he didn't catch more passes, but he was blocking his ass off.
But he literally laid some blocks that were amazing.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, Emerson, Peoples-Jones, people just completely omitted Newsome as if that didn't happen. Like, he hasn't been fantastic.
JOK's still a steal. It doesn't matter how
he's been a little up and down this year, but I mean, dude, it's gonna happen.
Here's what we need, and this is exactly what we got from our defense. We needed some guy that was like out of the ordinary to step up, and Taki was that.
Yes,
Taki was all over.
Phillips was a miss.
Huh?
Phillips was a miss, and I
I'm still
he was
not
gonna
done
be
with
good.
him though. I think with Deion Jones, you have a legitimate middle linebacker
I like
who's a
that
vet.
pickup. with
Yeah,
Deion
you put Taki in the right spot at the mic. You put JOK in a better position. I think Phillips is fine.
He
He's
could
just
be
not a middle linebacker.
right. John Johnson. I mean, he played okay this week. I didn't notice him, but I didn't notice him. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing when you don't notice him. The one thing that I will say is we finally, and I've been calling for it for weeks, double the amount of runs or rushing attempts that you have compared to the passing attempts. Jacoby Brissett is 10 and 21 when he throws over 27 passes. Now,
he played great though.
He played great, but he also only attempted to throw the ball 23 times, and we ran the ball 44 plays.
Yeah, what was he? 17 or 23, something like that.
17 to 23, 22.
Dude, but the biggest stat
22.
to me though was on he was like 50% pressured, and he was like 9 of 11 for like 177.
He's really good
against the blitz. That was surprising.
He's really good under the pressure.
Because a lot of games recently, like he sometimes has good pocket awareness, but other times I'm like, and I mean, obviously it's different from TV and him, but it's like throw it, holy shit, throw the ball, and then he gets sacked. Like, you know what I mean?
You're scaring the dog pound over there, okay?
But yeah, he played good. I mean, dude, oh, never mind, I'll save that.
Here's the thing: we have figured out the formula that wins us games.
Yeah, fucking blitz and run the ball.
Exactly. That's
finally that Deion Jones sack. We finally did a stunt.
Yep.
Or a twist or whatever. Was it a stunt?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. You sent 2 this way and bring him around. Like, dude, where the fuck is that then?
So here's the thing: when we are 3-0 when we have more than 20 rushing attempts. We are 0-5, or when Nick Chubb has 20 more rushing attempts. We're 0-5 when Nick Chubb has less than 20.
He's like, Dad, what is wrong with you?
Aww. Damn, the dog pound's giving some love this week.
Hey, it's needed.
But no, I mean, we have the formula, and I don't understand. Okay, don't kill me for this, but I've said this for a long time. I'm very worried when Deshaun gets back that Stefanski's going to go to this mode where we need to run the ball 15 times with Chubb and 4 to 5 times with Kareem Hunt, and then throw the ball the rest of the time. And it's just not going to work out. Like,
I don't think so.
I hope not, because here's the thing. We are 3-0 when Nick Chubb has more than 20 rushes in a game. We are 0-5 when he's under 20 rushes.
Well, here's the thing. If the defense does its job and we do consistent drives, we have enough offensive plays to where you can run the ball 20-plus times and still throw the ball probably 30-plus times.
Okay, but here's the thing. Go back and look at other games in the past, though. Look at the Falcons game, for example. We went away from the run. That game was a very tight, close game that we didn't need to go away from the run. We were up 14-3.
Yeah, but Watson makes the difference in those games.
You can say that, but
he's got the legs. That's the biggest thing. Like Jacoby will take off and run.
He's not Lamar, but he's in a play.
What Jacoby gets in like 10 yards is 20 with Deshaun Watson. I don't care how much you hate the man. Like, he is athletic. You have to.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying people who are like, listen, Deshaun's not going to come back and win every single game and go undefeated. Probably not. That's too high expectations. But when you look at it from the difference, like on the 3rd and 3 or whatever, when Jacoby's sitting back and he's kind of holding on to the ball, like you said, Wes, Deshaun will take off and run, and he can get that plus more.
And it's the same thing with Lamar, but like he's a better passer. Like, he goes to roll out, and it's the threat of him running, and it puts the linebacker or DB or safety or whoever that's in between the guy that's doing the scramble drill to the sideline, and he's got to make the decision, either come up or cover.
Yeah,
and Watson he's going to do whatever is available. If the dude comes up, he's going to throw it. If he fucking goes back, he's going to run it, and he's going to make that. And
I would also like to give a lot of credit to.
Okay.
I would also like to give a lot of credit to Kellen Mond, though. He looked he's really great on this roster, and I think that's another reason why we beat the Bengals.
I can't stand Kellen Mond. I can't. I fucking hate Kellen Mond. He's the worst quarterback I've ever seen. Speaking of
Kellens,
no, not speaking of Kellens.
Okay.
I am ready to admit I was wrong. Okay, so I would like to take this time. I would like to take this
I know
time
where
in the
we're going with
podcast.
this.
I would like to take the time, and I would like to send out an apology to Martin Emerson. I was wrong. He is a stud. I thought he was going to suck
since training camp, bro.
Well, first, okay. So here's the thing. Here was my number one concern with Martin Emerson coming out. I thought based on how physical he plays, I thought he was going to get called a lot for PI. Now, here's the good news for the Browns and for Browns fans. He's still playing physical. That's what makes him great. But they're not calling it. They're letting him play his ball. They're letting him play his brand of football.
He's not being egregious with this.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing too, look at the game Monday night. He was great across the board, but even the touchdown he gave up, he got a hand on that ball. It just so happened that he batted it back.
Bad bounce.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm fully ready to admit I was wrong about Martin Emerson. I am very happy to be wrong about Martin Emerson because if Denzel Ward finds his balls and starts playing football again,
I was just going to say, dude, what the fuck is up with
we
this,
have
bro?
three stud corners, and that's not even discounting.
And dude, AJ Green's good.
AJ Green's a damn good corner in his own right. So Greedy, I mean, I know Greedy's kind of in and out, but listen. From the front office
he's played pretty good. I mean, that Mike Williams, I mean, he does everything he can. It's just that Mike Williams is much bigger. And it was pretty much OPI.
Yeah.
Can I just say this? Thank you, Derek, for saying that, because I've been a big Martin Emerson believer, and I believe we've had this discussion on this podcast.
I got receipts. I said I was too.
And you were kind of like, no, he's not going to be good. He's not going to be good. And I very much trusted that he was going to be good because of how big he is for a corner. I did want to touch on this, and the one thing, and I've heard this complaint from a lot of Bengals fans, and I think our team especially would just be crucifying our coaching staff if they did this. They gave the ball to Joe Mixon 8 times. And ran
like 30 yards.
And ran Perrion once. They were
behind the whole game.
I get they were behind, but they weren't at the beginning of the game, and they kept throwing the ball.
Well, that's what they do. They like to run 5 wide, but they didn't realize they don't have Jamar Chase. But even Denzel wasn't there. But
here's the thing: even with Jamar Chase has played what now? 2 games. He played both games last year. The last one doesn't count. But the first time he played, he got shut down by us. I wholeheartedly – we could lose at Cincinnati this year very easily. That team, Cincinnati, they are very capable of winning any games here on out. But at the same time, if they're not going to double Myles Garrett, then Myles Garrett's going to have another field day in Cincinnati, and it's going to be very hard for them to win.
Well, if Joe Woods keeps, and this is the thing, I don't trust Joe Woods no matter what. If this is the defense we play throughout the year, I'm still not going to trust him. I'm still going to talk about moving on and who else we need to look to bring in.
Absolutely, because you've got to look at it from a standpoint, and this is how I'm looking at it. What did you do for me the first 5-6 weeks of the year? You didn't do shit for me. And now you play 2 division opponents, which you see all the time, and you guys look pretty competent and good. The other thing is they looked pretty competent and good against the Steelers too. But the Steelers offense is just terrible. But outside of the division, you're giving us crap. You're changing your whole standpoint. You're not blitzing at all. You're not like, I don't know. You're just literally going bland defense outside the division. Inside the division, we saw blitzes against Baltimore. We saw blitzes against Cincinnati. And it works. If you blitz one player and they have to go match up against Clowney and Miles one-on-one on the outside or not double team one of them, every team in the NFL is going to have trouble with that. It doesn't matter if we're not getting pressure up front. You're not going to let a defensive lineman go untouched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and if the others are stepping up like they did Monday night against the Bengals, this defense, because we've talked about it a billion times, Joe Wood's defense starts up front. It starts with those front four getting pressured themselves. If these other guys are going to step up, Taven Bryan especially, like Taven Bryan was somebody we really needed to step up, and I thought he did a pretty good job Monday. Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we kind of keep things rolling here? Because we've talked about this game for 20 minutes now.
Yeah, no.
One quick thing. The only thing I was going to say, I didn't think we were going to get our ass beat like you did, but I definitely wasn't going to guarantee a win. I just had like a weirdly, I forget what the hell the word is, but like
gut feeling,
a weird confidence about it. Like, no, I think we got him. You know what I mean? As long as we do what we're supposed to do. And for whatever fucking reason, dude, Joe Woods, after we get mauled by the Patriots and against the defense, dude, or against the Bengals, bro. Did you guys see what Quincy Carrier said?
I did not.
Dude, it was hilarious. He's like, dude, all these Bengal fans, they think I hate the Bengals. I love the Bengals. Every time you need to pick me up, every time you're feeling down, we just got to play the Bengals. I love the Bengals.
Dude, it's literally, I mean, a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but it's literally like Ohio State, Michigan over the last couple of years. There is, for whatever reason, Joe Burrow is now 0-4 against the Browns. We've won that last 8 of 9.
There's all like,
exactly.
It's all
exactly.
There, and everyone, for whatever like, reason, it was a joke before, like, oh, it was Baker, but now, I mean,
it's the Browns.
No,
I mean,
it's because, dude, the Bengals, it's the way they like to play. Like, their offense, they rarely chip or double Miles, and they like to go 5 wide. And, I mean, it hasn't been so far this year, but theoretically, the strength of our defense is supposed to be that secondary.
And Zach Taylor
even with Denzel out, I mean.
Here's the thing, and I said this multiple times
last year. And they're not a good running team.
Multiple times last year during the offseason. I'll say it again. It was a blessing in disguise that the Bengals made the Super Bowl because Zach Taylor is there now 10 to 15 more years, and they're not moving on from him, and he's terrible. And they want to talk about him giving up play calling. All he's going to do is go to management and go, I'm not giving up play calling. I'm not getting an offense coordinator who's going to call plays. We just went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. One season bad for me doesn't mandatorily give me up or have to give me up play calling. Like, he's not going to allow that to happen.
Do you guys remember, real quick, and then we'll move on. Do you guys remember when I said the same kind of thing with Hugh Jackson, where it was like, I was so glad that, like, because imagine if we would have did decent with his bum ass, he would have never, ever left. Mm-hmm. Like that year, the year he got fired, we ended up finishing, 7-8-1?
Yep, and we went on a tear last half.
If we would have been like 3-5 or something instead of, what were we, 2-5-1 or 2-6-1 or whatever the hell it was when he got fired, he would have never left.
When he got fired,
never left.
5-1. And then the second half of the season that year, we ended up getting into the playoff race. Basically, we were eliminated like week 16 of the playoff race. Like,
we were in every game. We got screwed the Raiders game. We were like fighting tooth and nail.
Well, that's the other thing. Hugh Jackson was still there for the Raiders game. So it's like,
which again, we got fucked, but like, it's kind of good we did because that motherfucker would have still had a job.
It's still like a blessing in disguise. Here's the only thing that I will take away from this. Stefanski called a perfect game. He needs to continue to do this, and he needs to realize at least until Deshaun gets back, run the ball with Chubb.
I think he outsmarts himself sometimes.
Yeah,
exactly. And I've been preaching
especially
that
with goal line plays. He's like, they think we're gonna run, so I'm gonna do this. Instead of just saying, "Fuck it, dude, run it." But like that play with when Hudson blew that one dude.
Yes, Logan Wilson.
He had 8 offensive linemen. He's like, "Dude, we're gonna run it. You fucking know we're gonna run it. Stop it."
Yep, exactly. And that's why I wish he would have a little more confidence that way. It seems like sometimes in situational play calling more down by the goal line, he's like, okay, we're at the 1-inch line. I'm going to roll my quarterback out to the right and throw it because they don't think it's going to be that play.
You can do that with Watson.
But do you always want to do it with Watson?
But you can.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's just that play in particular, I loved it because it was literally like Kevin Stefanski putting his nuts on the table and be like, okay, stop me. And we haven't really seen that a ton from Kevin Stefanski, but it was great to see. I thought Monday night was great out of everybody, pretty much. So
it just sucks. We have to get in the position we were in for us to finally do what we're supposed to do.
You lose every game by like 3 points or less, and now you want to show up. I mean, it's
really, obviously we really hope it doesn't happen, but goddamn, dude, if we miss the playoffs by a game or two. All everyone's going to talk about is that goddamn Jets game and the
Chargers game.
Chargers
should have beat them too.
Falcons.
The Charger, I think.
Really, the Ravens game too. Well,
yeah, I mean but that's the NFL. And my thing is when you get down to it, and everyone wants to be like, "Oh, let's blame Cade York for the Chargers game," and it's like, dude, you had the ball at like the 40-yard line, could have possibly run the ball with 2 minutes left and got like
we consistently that's one thing I can't stand with Stefanski, especially obviously not in the Bengals game, but we consistently fuck ourselves out of field goal range.
Well, no,
with penalties or a bad play call.
The other thing is
that's got to stop.
We drafted this kicker who we know can hit long range field goals, and it's almost like Stefanski has this thing in the back of his head, like, okay, this guy's going to go out there and kick it 55, kick the shit out of the ball and kick it 55 yards and just automatically make it right down the middle. And it's like, you can't depend on a rookie kicker like that. Like, get him closer and have him kick a 40-yard field goal.
He did the right thing in the Ravens game. I remember I texted that I was pissed about it, but like when I went back and watched it, dude, they had a 9-man box. Like, that was a perfect play. And obviously it was a bullshit OPI. And he walked in for the touchdown. Like, the game was pretty much over. But then we got a flag on that, and then didn't we get a false start?
False start
which
on
was
the
back
field goal.
again. Oh yeah, on the first field. Right. Yeah. Which obviously
and then the
got
second one was
back
blocked.
back.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, in field goal range, we were at like the 30 and just got fucked.
And Cade didn't even get a fucking chance.
No, I mean the blocked field goal, I mean, it was actually a really bad snap, and there was no way, like, no one blocked for him.
Also, how still? I mean, I get it. If they do not get rid of Mike Priefer at the end of the season, he should be gone now. But I understand that they probably won't do it in the middle of the season. But if he still has a job at the end of the season, bro, like, we got some fucking problems.
He's made it through what? This is his third coaching
year.
Third year or third
special teams unit has been 25 or worse every year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing: we went through how many kickers in 3 years? We went through 4 kickers.
Yeah, but it's not
and
just
punters now. We've gone through
punting coverage. It's punting returns, kick returns.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost pointless for us to kick return it anymore. I mean, you might as well just take the touchback.
You guys ever watched that Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Did you see when Tyvis Powell was breaking down the offensive or the onside kick, and then the same thing again next week? Like, they do it ass backwards. They should be having, I don't remember exactly, but basically one dude that should be blocking was going for the ball or vice versa, some shit. They're just doing it ass backwards, and they did it against the Jets and then did it again the next week and got lucky.
Oh, the Steelers game. Oh, that ball when it bounced I
And of course, fucking who was it? AJ Green that stepped out of bounds and then grabbed the ball.
Yeah.
That's coaching.
I know.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we should probably move on.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be here all night. But I'm gonna skip our expectations because I think we've kind of talked about that. I mean, for me, it's simple. Cozy, you said it, Wes. I think you agree. Literally, run the football, blitz, get creative. Like it should be very simple.
I want
2 out of 3.
I want to see what happens after this bye week. Stefanski is 2-0 after the bye week.
If we can beat the Dolphins, we're looking up because
you can beat the Bucs. You can beat the Dolphins. Yes,
the Bucs are
Bills. I mean, we don't. We're all pretty much chalking that up as a loss, but I mean, I expect us to at least be competitive in that game. Maybe we could win. I mean, I'm not definitely gonna. I wouldn't put money on it, but it's in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's one of the games where they just have a bad game.
You went toe to toe with the Chargers. I mean,
I will say this: our back half of our schedule is very road game loaded. We only have 3 home games left. We have 6 road games.
But other than these next 3, I mean, it's not that tough a competition, and it's division games. We got Houston, we got New Orleans, we got the 3 division games, and what's the other one?
Washington.
I mean, dude,
the Commies, and so it's at the Commies. I mean,
division, road, and home games. I don't think matter quite that much.
I can tell you right now. At the Commies, there's probably going to be a decent amount of our fans. Cincinnati's going to be a 50-50 crowd, at least
Pittsburgh
in the upper levels. At least in the upper levels, because it always is. There, I can tell you right now, I just looked the other day, the game against the Bengals in Cincinnati is not even sold out yet.
Dude, I think
I
think we smashed the Ravens if Watson.
I think we smashed the Ravens with not even
if he's playing how he should, we smash them.
Not even a good game out of Watson. We smashed the Ravens. The Ravens are not that good. I think that Ravens game could be for the division lead. And here's the thing, if in fact, I want to see what the Ravens do on Monday night at New Orleans, because the Saints are.
If they lose, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what the second half of this AFC North season. I don't want to get back into the race. They're not good enough. But Mike Tomlin always finds a way to beat Baltimore at least once.
That'd be
always
awesome.
Finds a way.
Well, they already beat Cincinnati. So
they've already beat Cincinnati. I don't think they're going to beat Cincinnati again in Pittsburgh. I think Cincinnati's going to be just going to be.
I think they'll be lucky if they go 2-2 without Chase.
So they got Carolina this week, and then they got a bye, and then they got Pittsburgh.
Carolina looked decent without him. Or
with PJ
last week, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was against the Falcons. I mean, I get it. I don't know.
Division game.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens because it's in Cincinnati, and I don't think that
you act like they have some massive home field advantage. So their crowds suck. It's in fucking Kentucky.
True.
Yeah.
They have one of the worst fan bases, bro.
They actually do. Like I said, they just went to the Super Bowl. They are playing.
They're like the Tampa Bay Rays of the NFL. Now that they're good, they have a little bit of fans, but
yeah, but even then, they still filling out. And here's the thing about baseball is it's 81 home games. There are 8 to 9 home games, and you can't sell out. You just went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, bro. Hold on. You want to talk about Bengals fans. I was telling you before we started, I had Dollar General M&M walk in my store today. Bro, even worse, homeboy was a Bengals fan, and he was bitching nonstop because me and my other 3 people I work with were Browns fans. And, bro, oh, my gosh. He was just going on and on and on about the Bengals. And it's like, bro, literally you lost in the Super Bowl. You just got destroyed by us Monday. Like, just shut the hell up. But go ahead.
I'd like to comment one thing on what you just said. Monday night, there was probably the most amount of Bengals fans I've ever seen in Cleveland. And there wasn't even that many. They never travel well to Cleveland. There's never that many. But
that shit was sold out, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. But they all.
I want to go to a Night King so bad.
But they all walked into the stadium on Monday night like they owned the place. They were doing their Who Day chant the whole way in, which is fine. And actually on the way out, I started doing the We Day chant and just kept going, We Day, We Day. We then beat them Bengals, all this stuff. And one of their fans walked up to me. It was a female, and she just flipped me off right to my face. And her boyfriend was with her, and her boyfriend said, why are you doing that stupid chant? That's our chant. I'm like, no, it's We Day because we just beat you.
That's why.
And here's the thing. They acted like, okay, we won the division. We went to the Super Bowl. And she said to me, and her comment was, well, we still have a shot at the playoffs. Well, your season's over, so I don't even know why you're that happy. I'm like,
2-1 in the division? I don't think so.
We're 2-1 in the division. We are a game behind you. We are 2 behind Baltimore. We played Baltimore once. We need Baltimore to lose. I'm telling you right now, if we could win the rest of our 3 division games, that is going to go a long way to a tiebreaker if we are 1-1 against Baltimore.
We can still outright win the division.
Mm-hmm. We could very
Baltimore's not that good.
Baltimore's not that good. Baltimore's probably going to lose at Cincinnati. If we beat them and we can beat the Bengals and we can beat the Steelers and go 5-1 in this division, we win the tiebreaker against Baltimore because of division record. And like I said, I thought we were going to go 4-2 in the division this year. I thought Cincinnati was going to get us once. But I literally think it is a mind block with them that they're not going to beat us in Cincinnati.
They're just stupid, bro. They just refuse to do what other teams do, and
they refuse
take care of Myles Garrett.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The Ravens do it. They are like, no. We're shifting the line, the whole line. Like, and he'll still sometimes beat the double or triple team, but like, dude, they're like, no, leave him on an island.
Yeah, Myles was unstoppable Monday.
And like, bro, my favorite is all the fucking normies that are like, when Myles Garrett doesn't have, dude, he could have had five sacks. It's like, dude, just because he's not getting the sack every play doesn't mean he's not affecting the play greatly.
Yeah. So we need to talk about the trade deadline. So
let's go.
The Browns didn't make any moves. There was rumors about Greedy Williams. Kareem Hunt obviously was the big one. Some people thought Jack Conklin might be on the move, and there was a couple others, but the Browns end up doing nothing. But it was rumored, and Andrew Berry actually said they were close in bringing in a player, and it was rumored that player was Daron Payne. That's at least what I heard. I don't know how true that is, so don't take that for 100%. But the kind of speculation that I've heard is that maybe the Browns are going to move on from Jack Conklin, James Hudson step in at right tackle, and depending on what happens with John Johnson, maybe make a trade for Daron Payne and have that money go there. So before we, I want to talk about kind of the trade deadline as a whole, because there was a lot of big moves in the NFL, but strictly to the Browns here real quick. What did you guys think about us staying home, not doing anything? And Daron Payne, what do you think?
I would have liked to seen a Daron Payne move, but it would have depended on what. I'm glad we didn't trade Kareem. I actually think that, and I know people are going to kill me for this, I think he's back. I really think he's going to take a hometown discount. I know people keep saying that he's upset with the front office and a number of his carries and things like that. I think a lot's going to play into it with Nick Chubb and him having a close relationship. I think Conklin's going to be back. I think Greedy's definitely gone. And I wouldn't mind seeing him get traded for a bag of peanuts, to be honest. I'm just not a big Greedy fan. John Johnson, if he got traded, I would not have been surprised. I'm indifferent about it. My only complaint with John Johnson is that he ran his mouth before the Baltimore week, and then the week of the Baltimore game, he kind of
No effort.
Yeah, there was just no effort there. Like he literally let a guy walk into the end zone. So I would have been okay to see him go, to be honest. Like, and it's really weird because coming into this season, I thought he was going to be like the leader of the defense or a top guy on our defense. And now it's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird that we stayed put because there are some players that we should have probably traded. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad we didn't because I think Kareem Hunt was the top of that list. And you're telling yourself if Kareem Hunt is gone, then we're done competing this season. If we would have lost on Monday night, Kareem Hunt 150% would have been gone because the season probably would have been over if we would have lost.
Barry kind of admitted that.
That's the other thing.
Not about Kareem specifically, but
yeah, but the other thing about Barry is he made a comment in his post-trade press conference that kind of bothered me a little bit, where he said 2023 is going to be the most important year for the Browns. So, like, does this year just not matter to us? I know you want to plan for the future, but you're talking to a very fragile fan base who hasn't seen consistent winning in a long time. And as someone who is a season ticket holder, how are you going to go out there and tell me this, and this, and basically say, well, next year is the most important year for the Cleveland Browns?
I mean, I think he's right, but he's definitely not giving up on this year. Otherwise, he would have traded people.
Maybe he didn't get an offer he liked. So
yeah. I think he just shouldn't have said anything, to be honest.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
Like if next year is the plan to go all in, which makes a ton of sense, of course, you're going to have your franchise quarterback the whole year. Like those are things that I would keep in-house. I would say, hey, we had offers on the table. We were interested in some things, but nothing worked out. That's what I would say. I think he kind of played his cards a little, or showed his cards a little bit there. Because next year I'm expecting the Browns to really go out and address some things pretty hardcore. And I think Jerome Payne is one of those positions. I think maybe not Jerome Payne, but defensive tackle, I see being a position that they are going to go out and absolutely put full money, full effort, whatever in. I don't think it's going to come in the draft. I think they've kind of learned from their mistakes as far as like, hey, we got a ton of guys, but they're all children. And last year, like, yeah, Malik McDowell was slinging dick in front of preschools, but I mean, Malik Jackson did a pretty damn good job, and Malik McDowell, being that guy you bet on, did a really good job. So I think they kind of see the formula there, and they're going to do something about it this offseason. But Cozy's just dying over there. But I think
worded it like that.
What, you don't like slinging dick in front of? I can't say that. I got to cut that part out. Jeez.
I mean, dude, I think ideal world this year for us, and I think Barry, is we can get to the playoffs and hopefully win a game, at least. You get some playoff experience, maybe get a dub, and then next year is when you're like, okay, we're going for the fucking Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think any of us really. Could it have happened? Yeah, if we go 7-4 with Jacoby, but obviously that's not happening. Could it have happened that we make a Super Bowl run? Maybe. I mean, it'd be pretty improbable, but I think ultimately the goal this year was to get to the playoffs, win a game,
be competitive.
Yeah, and then next year is get some experience, especially for those young guys, and then next year when you got the full season with Deshaun, you can fill the little holes that you think you need filled. You got another season and off season for Deshaun, the rest of the offense, the defense again, and then you give those like JOK, maybe Perrion could step up, Emerson, the younger guys to get more acquainted, get that experience and level up, And then next year is when you really push it and you're like, no, this is the year we're going for the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he lied or said anything dumb or wrong or, offensive to fans. Like, he's trying to be competitive this year. Obviously, he's not giving away Kareem Hunt for anything, for nothing, or doing just trades, fire sale, whatever. Like, we're going for success, but not the bowl. Next year, you go for the bowl.
I expect us to be, you can go ahead, Cozy, but I expect us to be like the Dolphins. And we'll talk about this here in a second. But at the trade deadline and preseason, the Dolphins were extremely aggressive. Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, Jeff Wilson, I want to say they added as well. Like they went out and they're making moves. They believe in themselves and they think they can go far this year. I expect that to be us next year. I'm not talking maybe like that big game hunting, but I think you're going to see the Browns be aggressive in the draft. I don't think we're going to trade down. I think we're going to actually probably go all in. I don't think that means first round pick, but if there's a guy that they like in the second, I think they're going to move up. I think.
Yeah, we don't have many positions to fill.
Exactly. So I'm expecting that in free agency. I'm expecting that in the draft. But yeah, Cozy, go ahead.
I guess my main thing is, and you look at the AFC this year as a whole, and like you're saying, if we make the playoffs, we don't have a shot to go to the Super Bowl. And I kind of look at it like, but
I don't say we don't have a shot, but
I mean, look at the Bengals.
I think next year the expectation.
I get it. I just wish that he didn't say anything like that because people, I can tell you right now, it did not sit well with the fan base. With him saying
the same fan base that says the season was over 2 weeks ago, the same fan base that fucking says the portion of it that says, "Oh, we should have never traded Baker." Like, bro, I mean, we got some diehards, but a lot of our fans are pretty stupid. I mean, or they're very, oh man, we suck. Oh man, like, come on.
I think a lot of us thought after the Baltimore.
We get Jimmy G.
Oh my gosh,
Jimmy G.
Hey, we hosted a space at one point where we thought we were going to be guaranteed Jimmy G was the best thing for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I just look at it and I think if you get in the playoffs, like our division is probably going to have the 4 seed.
We also thought our division was going to be good this year, and
that's true.
It's kind of not.
Yeah, we also, I think we thought that Baltimore was going to be a lot better. Oh my gosh. I also think that we thought our division was going to be a lot better with like Baltimore being good. Cincinnati's a bad 4-4. They've had some very bad losses. Like they did not look good the first 2 weeks of the season. Everyone thought they got their shit together when they went 4-1 over a 5-game stretch, and everyone thought, okay, it's fixed. Like, we're good. And then they came out Monday night, and they were coming off a beatdown of the Falcons, and like their fans, their team also walked in and thought that they were going to just cruise on through us. So you look at the landscape of the AFC, I think if we get in, we have an opportunity.
That dog is going ham on your hand.
How are you not bleeding by now?
Because he knows who the fuck daddy is. He ain't gonna hurt me. He could rip my whole fucking hand off if he wanted to, but he ain't gonna.
He's gonna try.
No.
Anyways.
You ain't.
Anyways, yeah.
I guess we are going to talk about other trades that were made.
Yeah, let's I want to run quickly through a couple of these bigger trades. Well, let's not spend a ton of time on this, but a couple of the big ones within the division. Chase Claypool traded out of Pittsburgh to the Chicago Bears. Couple things. Good for Justin Fields. I know I don't think Chase Claypool is that great of a receiver.
Dude,
I really
love
don't.
Justin Fields. I feel so bad.
But Justin Fields has had absolute dog shit at wide receiver, and Chase Claypool is a massive improvement. So him, Mooney, whoever the fuck else they have there, Good for Fields to get somebody. I mean, the Bears' big trade of the offseason at wide receiver was N'Keal Harry. Like, what are you doing? So good in my opinion for Justin Fields. I cannot believe the Pittsburgh Steelers got a 2nd-round pick. I cannot believe.
That's ridiculous. We got Cooper for a 5th, and they got a 2nd for Claypool. That's insane.
Exactly. So that was the one within the division that was big. Roquan Smith to the Baltimore Ravens. This absolutely pissed me off because I think Roquan Smith is an absolute dog.
Yeah.
And the Baltimore Ravens ended up with yet another great linebacker. So starting off, let's talk about those two real quick, and then we'll run through a couple of the other bigger trades. But what'd you guys think of those?
Steelers got a steal for basically, I mean, they just ripped off Chicago majorly. And then, I mean, you hit right on it. Roquan Smith kind of pissed me off because I'm just like, I don't know. I can't take – I look at the Ravens defense and I'm like, where is there a hole on this defense? Like, they are really, really good.
They're overrated secondary.
Yeah, but if Patrick Queen steps up and plays like he's been playing –
he's ass.
I thought he was, but he's had a few good games this year.
Yeah, but he always makes plays where it's like
I don't know.
Pete is gonna get this video.
Yeah, seriously, Wes, you are beating the dog.
Oh, shut up. He's gnawing on my hand. I'm tapping his face. Shut up.
I'll just put a picture of JC right in front of that.
Look at him. Look at him gnawing on my face. I'm gonna die. Oh God, my hand.
Got it.
The dog pound feasting this week in more than one way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we thought Wes was dead for forever, and now his dog's gonna kill him.
Yep.
That's just how it goes.
Look at him just gnawing on my fucking finger.
But some of the other bigger trades in the NFL wrapping up here. Talked about it. Bradley Chubb to the Miami Dolphins. Denver absolutely blowing things up. They realized Russell Wilson was a failure.
That motherfucker is trash.
Bro,
remember? Do you guys remember when I said, I was like, yo, they gave him that extension. He didn't even play the snap. I was like, and JC was like, because and then for like the first 3 weeks of the season, I'm like, oh, his ass.
Can I get another JC?
Yeah, I need a JC.
Russell Wilson, dangerous. Also, he's the cringiest dude I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Okay, the TikTok of him with the Danger Witch thing, worst TikTok in America.
What's red? Yeah, but the Broncos
dangerous.
I mean, the Broncos are blowing it up. The Broncos got a first-round pick and more for Bradley Chubb, so I mean, I guess good for them, but whatever. We talked about Roquan Smith, TJ Hawkinson to the Minnesota Vikings within the division is fucking crazy.
And I didn't think the Lions got enough for him. I feel like they just literally like gave him away.
I agree.
I have him on my fantasy team. He's great every single week. He is going to be an awesome target now for I forgot their quarterback now. Oh my gosh.
Kirk Cousins.
And I was like not even joking. I completely forgot his name. I'm actually a huge Kirk Cousins fan.
Kirk Cousins.
That, by the way, that is a team that I, without a doubt, am very impressed.
I just got an email from my Sarasota Browns backers.
And Minnesota,
good timing.
They legit could. I'm very intrigued by their matchup in 2 weeks. We're going to really find out what the Minnesota Vikings are about. They play the Commanders this week. In 2 weeks, they go to Buffalo. Now, granted, the Sunday night game that week is Steelers and Bengals. If you have Minnesota versus Buffalo, 6 or 7-1 versus basically 7-1, and you don't flex it out of Bengals Steelers on Sunday night, the NFL should be screaming at NBC. Screaming at NBC. I think that
but Pittsburgh is a primetime team.
I know. I get it.
Watch if they win one fucking game, they're gonna be there. It's not getting flexed.
I don't even know who they play this week, but I can tell you this much right now that that trade for the Vikings, that was actually a better trade in my opinion than the Bradley Chubb trade.
Yeah, I mean they stole him. They stole him, and
Absolutely.
the fact that they traded him within the division. Let's not pretend like the Lions are going to suck forever. The Lions have a good young team. They just have to figure not a lot, but they have some things to figure out. That for them to trade their best player for peanuts compared to what I thought they could get for him is crazy.
You think he's their best player?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's awesome. And then the last trade I wanted to talk about, and then we'll wrap things up here. This is really interesting to me. It shocked me, because of the timing. Why was this trade done at the trade deadline and not in the offseason? That was kind of the question that I had. Calvin Ridley, who is suspended for sports gambling, traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars with a ton of conditions. Basically, if everything goes well, they'll get a second-round pick. First of all, the Jags, if Calvin Ridley does play football, the Jags have a really, really good receiving core. Second of all, what do you guys think about this? Because obviously we know a lot of the legal side of things with getting Deshaun Watson, but it is very, very weird to me that at the NFL trade deadline, halfway through the season, they decided to trade for a player who's got all this going on, and he's not going to play this year. So it kind of confused me, but at the same time, I think it is a good move. I think if Calvin Ridley's playing, he's a great receiver. And with the offense that they have, I think it would be a really good move.
I think they're trying to. They know they have a decent young core, and they're trying to load up to try to win a bad division.
Yeah. I mean, next year's the year for Jacksonville probably to win that division because
Titans they've fallen off. Colts are, and Houston sucks.
I think Houston's going to actually turn it around. They have a good running back. They need to get the quarterback right. I don't think there's a quarterback this year coming out that's going to get that. So maybe.
Whoa. Hold on.
Say that
again.
I don't think that there's a great NFL style quarterback coming out.
There's two great quarterbacks in this draft.
Are you
There's
dumb?
two great quarterbacks.
Okay, we'll see.
There's two. Let me tell you something.
Are you dumb?
We're not going to get into this because
we'll
be here for an hour.
Are you dumb?
Nope.
Are you disrespecting?
I am the biggest homer in the world.
Are you disrespecting CJ motherfucking Stroud on this goddamn podcast?
First of all,
and Bryce Young. I'm not. I mean, he's Alabama. No. Are you dead ass serious right now?
Hold on. Before we even have
I
this
will
discussion,
fly up there and smack the shit out of you.
No, you won't.
Before we have this discussion, first of all, you are entirely wrong with your top
fucking
two.
Dumb.
It's not even. There's two quarterbacks who are going to be great in the NFL. CJ Stroud is one of them. Stop disrespecting Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker, I don't care. I don't care if he's 25 years old. The dude is a stud.
There is one great quarterback.
Okay, there's two.
And Bryce Young, he'll be. I think he'll be all right.
Bryce Young will be all right, but if you're talking about two guys in this quarterback class this year that can be absolutely transcendent, it's Hendon Hooker number 1 and CJ Stroud number 2. Let me hold on. Let me explain. Me and Tristan talked about this on the other podcast. I'm going to upload it as a second video or as a separate video. I might include this part in too. But listen, CJ Stroud in the first 2 years, or I should say Hendon Hooker within the first
glasses off.
Within the first 2 to 3 years will be better than CJ because let me explain. CJ Stroud is a great quarterback, but he is very, very he's got to have.
You better not say raw because he's not.
No, he's not raw at all. But the problem is CJ he's a rhythm quarterback. What makes him great is yes, everybody's going to talk about he's got a billion receivers to throw to. Yes, but he's throwing these guys open. He's putting it in windows that I've never seen an Ohio State quarterback throw in. But
he's the best quarterback I think we might have ever had.
But yes, I agree with that. He's the best passer I've ever seen. But there's two things that is going to make CJ Stroud struggle early on in the NFL. A
dog shit team.
That too. Well, yeah, that's one of them. So in whatever order, the team he's going to go to, he's going to be a top 5 pick, probably top 3, if not number 1 overall. So the team he's going to go to is going to suck. That's one. 2, his lack of mobility will hurt him early. He's terrified.
It's so confusing how he's not mobile.
Terrified to run. Well, that's the thing. He's not even slow. He's just scared to run. He's scared to, for whatever reason. He can move around in the pocket well, right? He doesn't have.
He should be a mobile quarterback.
Exactly. But the problem is in the NFL today, it's literally arm strength, accuracy, mobility. Those are the 3 things that teams judge quarterbacks on.
I think he has the mobility.
But that block is going to hold him back. That's why I think early on he's going to struggle because of his team and his lack of mobility. Hendon Hooker is going to come into the NFL and he's going to have the mobility, which he's already shown. He's got the arm strength. He's got the accuracy. He's athletic. The dude is going to come in day one and have more of an impact, in my opinion, than CJ just because of those things. With Hooker, it's not even about the team he goes to for me. It's just about the system that they're going to put him in. If they put him in a system where they use him to his strengths, he will be fantastic day one. Stroud will struggle. Stroud will be great. I think Stroud will be better than
He's not going to be like Fields level struggle, though.
No. But that's the thing. Justin Fields is in year 2.5 with the Chicago Bears, and he's looked like,
year 3, but go ahead.
Whatever. But he's looked terrible. He's looked terrible up until now, and he's starting to use his legs. He's starting to get opportunities. That's my thing with CJ. I think CJ will be great, but things have to be set up for him. And
he has draft quarterbacks for the first few years of their career.
No, you don't, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying if you're talking in 10 years, who's better? I think CJ will be better, but in the first 3 years, I think Hendon Hooker will be better than CJ Stroud. That's just my opinion.
Whoop-de-fucking do.
Okay, well, hey, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough conversation, and I can't wait till playoffs because guess what? You're staring down the barrel. If Tennessee beats Georgia, they will remain number 1. They're going to remain. Beat Georgia. I think they will. I think they're going to beat Georgia.
No, I think they're going to beat them.
No, they're not. I'll bet both of you.
Ooh, what are we betting on this?
I'll bet you $20 that Tennessee beats Georgia.
I'm not a fan of either team, like a big fan of either team, but I promise you Georgia's going to eke it out.
I don't know. I'll bet you $20.
Okay.
All right.
6-pack on it.
Kiss on
it. Oh man, but I mean, not to get too deep into this because I think we could go on for another 3 hours probably talking about this. I hope it's a Tennessee-Ohio State national title game. That game would be so fun. Whatever. Oh,
Ohio
we're getting
State
serious
national
now.
Champions. No cap.
Bro, your dog is like, what is wrong with my father? I've asked that question too, but I've never got an answer. Wes doesn't get that reference.
Yes, he does. He should.
Anyways, do any of you have anything else you want to add?
Not really. I think we're done here.
Hold on, I'm taking a picture of this. This is hilarious. Your dog just standing next to you, like what is happening? All right. Well, English. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. Let us know your thoughts. So,
I'd like to say thanks for Tony for coming in.
Yeah, Tony, I'll be here in 10 minutes. Well, guess what? Here, hey, you know what? Here, let's close it out with this. Tony Battaglio, I want you to know one thing, right? I told you last week, when you die, my name's still going to be on your arm. Enjoy your stupid verified check mark before you have to start spending your money to keep that check mark, because guess what? Your $20 a week is going to keep that verified check mark. Thank you, Elon Musk. But guess what? Every time you sit down at your computer,
guess who's getting back on Twitter thanks to Elon Musk?
Exactly. But guess what? Hey, Tony, listen to me carefully. Every time that you sit down at your computer and you write your articles for whatever stupid website you're a writer for, guess what? That little typing on your computer, if you flip your arm over, my initials are still going to be on your arm. So, Merry Christmas. Anyway, all right. Goodbye,
so,
everybody.
Frog,
hey, Frog, you want to say bye to my homies?
Yeah.
Yo, this kid's a douche.
No cap.
No cap.
What's your message to Wood?
Touchdown.
Or not Wood?
Touchdown, baby! Yeah! Woo!
Touchdown.
This podcast is off the rails. Cozy, what are you going to say to JC here? I'm going to end it.
Hey, Mr. HR, thanks for showing up again. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.